will study about solid state. Okay, before going to the solid state, in your previous classes you may studied about the matters. Okay, what is matter? Okay, what is matter? Anything which have a mass and occupies space. Anything which has a mass and occupies space is known as matter. Okay, matter mainly are of three types. Okay, matter mainly are of three types. First one is solid. Second one is liquid. And third one is gas. Okay, in your previous class, means in your 11th class, we have studied about gases and states of matter. In that we have studied about gases. In physics, we have studied about liquids. And today in your 12th class, we will study about the solid state. Okay, first we will see what is the difference between solid, liquid and gas. Okay, in solids, the molecules are arranged very closely. And in liquids, the molecules are arranged loosely. And in gases, the molecules are arranged very loosely. Okay, but in this today we classes we will study about only solid states. Okay. What is solid? Okay, what is solid? Solid is that matter. Solid is that matter in which constituent particles arranged with a strong force of attraction. Strong force of attraction. Okay, what is the definition of solid? Means solid, it is a type of matter. Okay, solid is also a type of a matter. In this, these particles are arranged very strongly. Means, for example, in chalk is a type of a solid, but molecules are arranged very closely. For example, this is a solid. The molecules are arranged. Molecules are arranged with a strong force of attraction. Okay, these constituent particles means neighboring particles. Okay, neighboring particles are known as constituent particles. Constituent particles are arranged in a very close manner. This type of matter is known as solid. Okay, I will repeat. What is a solid? Solid is a state of matter in which constituent particles are arranged or bonded with a strong force of attraction. In solids, the bonds are very closely arranged. Okay, now we will study about properties of solid. Okay, properties of solid. What are the properties of solid? First one, solids has definite size, shape and value. Okay, second one, compressibility is low. Third one, flexibility is low. Okay, I will explain one by one. First one, in solids have a definite shape, definite size and definite value. For example, this marker having a definite shape. Okay, this shape is in cylindrical form and definite size and definite value. There is no change. Okay, solids having definite shape, size and value. Second one, compressibility is low. It means that they are almost all the solids they will not compress. Means if I compress, it will this marker will not go to compress. Okay, third one, flexibility like this, then there is no flexibility. So in solids flexibility is low. Okay, next point. MP and BP means melting point and boiling point is high. Melting point and boiling point is high. And last one is these solids are good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, these solids are good conductors of heat and electricity. So now I have told in solids the molecules are arranged very closely. Means the one molecule is arranged with another molecule with a strong molecular force or with a strong force of attraction. If these molecules are arranged strongly, then if I want to break this bond, then I need more energy. So more energy means more temperature, more heat. So melting and boiling point of these solids are very high, and almost all the solids are of conductor of good heat and electricity. Good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, these are the properties of solids. What are the properties? I will repeat. Having definite shape, size and value. All the solids having definite shape, size and value. Next, they have compressibility is very low and flexibility is very low. Melting and boiling point is very high. And last one is they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, now we will study about types of solids. Okay, next, types of solids. There are solids having mainly two types. Okay, first one, crystalline solids. Second one, amorphous solids. Okay, first one, crystalline solids, and second one, amorphous solids. Okay, now we will study the difference between this crystalline solid and definition of crystalline solid and amorphous solids. Okay, crystalline solids are those. See, for example, crystalline solids are arranged in regular manner with constituent particles. Okay, what is the meaning of this? Means in crystalline solids, these for example, this is example, these constituent particles means A, B, A, B. Okay, next B, A, B, A, and next A, B, A, B. Okay, sorry, A, B, A, B. So in this, okay, crystalline solid means arranged in what arranged? Constituent particles. Constituent particles are arranged in a regular manner. For example, first A particle is arranged, then B, then A, then B. Means it is a regular, systematic manner. In systematic manner, constituent particles are arranged. A, B, A, B, and then B, A, B, A, then A, B, A, B. It is a regular and systematic manner. Regular means, see, how A, B, and then A is repeating, then B is repeating. It is a regular manner. Whereas in amorphous solids, it is what? Irregular manner. Irregular manner. What irregular manner? The constituent particles are arranged in irregular manner. For example, see, if it is, there is A, B, next A, B, next A, or B, A, B, next here A, B, like this. Means they in these amorphous solids, the constituent particles are are not arranged in regular manners, whereas in crystalline solids the constituent particles are arranged in regular manner. Okay. Next, second point is these crystalline solids are also known as true solids. Okay, these crystalline solids are also called as true solids. Amorphous solids are known as pseudo solids. Pseudo solids or supercooled liquids. Okay, these crystalline solids are called as true solids, whereas amorphous solids are called as pseudo solids or supercooled liquids. Okay, this is the main difference. Okay, I will repeat. What is crystalline solids? What are crystalline solids? In crystalline solids, constituent particles are arranged in a regular manner, whereas in amorphous solids, the constituent particles are arranged in irregular manner. There is no manner. See, A, B, B, A, B, A. There is no regular manner or there is no any systematic way. These crystalline solids are called as true solids, and whereas these amorphous solids are called as pseudo solids or supercooled liquids. Okay, next point. Next, third difference is the melting point is sharp. What? In crystalline solids, melting point is very sharp. For example, see, if any compound or any solid is melting at 100 degrees Celsius, means at sharply it will melt at 100 degrees Celsius only. But whereas in amorphous solids, the melting point is not sharp. Okay, why? Because the constituent particles are not arranged in a systematic manner. So there may be melting point is maybe, say for example, some metal is going to melt at 100 degree and some metals are going to melt at 120 degree and some metals are going to melt at 130 degree. There is no any sharp melting point in amorphous solids. Okay, in crystalline solids there is a sharp melting point. Fourth one. Okay, what is fourth one? In fourth one, anisotropic. Anisotropic in nature. Okay. Anisotropic nature means different physical properties in different directions. Okay, crystalline solids. Fourth point is anisotropic in nature. Means anisotropic in nature means, for example, I will explain quick. See, these in first difference I have told that constituent particles are arranged in regular manner. It is like this: A B, next B A. Okay, next A B. Okay, like this. These are in crystalline solids, anisotropic meaning and different directions. See, if I go in first direction, what I am getting A B. If I go like this cross direction, I am getting A. If I go like directions, then I am getting A. If I go through like this, then A B. Means what is this? It is a systematic manner. These type of molecules, these type of directions are called as anisotropic in nature. Means different physical properties in different manner. See, A is a different property and B is different. Next, like this, if A or if we go through different direction, we will get a different physical properties. Okay. Whereas in amorphous solids, reaction means there is in amorphous solid first difference we have seen that molecules are arranged randomly, means irregularly. Molecules are arranged irregularly. So if we go any direction, we are getting in different properties. Okay, these are the main difference between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Okay, what are those? I will repeat. First one, they are what is the first difference? Regularly arranged. Okay, first one, the constituent particles are arranged regularly, whereas in amorphous solids the constituent particles are arranged in irregular manner. Okay, second one, they having sharp melting point in crystalline solids, where in amorphous solids there is no sharp melting point. Okay, these crystalline solids are called as true solids, whereas amorphous solids are called as pseudo solids or supercooled liquids. Okay, next last difference is they are anisotropic in nature. Okay, whereas amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. Okay, anisotropic means if we go through any direction, we will get a different. If we go through different direction, we will get different properties. Whereas in amorphous solids, in same property, we will get a different physical properties. Okay. Next, we will study about types of crystalline solids. Types of crystalline solids. Okay, there are mainly 4 types. First one, ionic crystalline solid. Second one, metallic crystalline solids. Third one, covalent crystalline solids. And last one, molecular crystalline solids. Okay, these 4 are the types of crystalline solids.